Dude. Good times. Hello. Let's see if it's gonna work. Doesn't look great. Oh my God. This is ridiculous, man. You can see me. Okay, well, that's one thing that we can do. Can you hear anything? Oh my God. It's lagging really bad too. I have no idea why. Let's see. Can you guys hear me? You can? Dylan, you can hear me too? Holy shit, man. Yeah, it's super laggy. I don't know what is going on. Hey, Jim. Like, I'm watching myself up here, and it's like 15 seconds behind me, so sorry. It's really weird. Well, sorry about that, guys. I use this software called Labs OBS, and it's always been fine, but it's that last one I think that we had, which was a little while ago, like at the end, it like totally froze up and you guys see anything or hear anything. It's super weird. So I guess I'm gonna have the whole thing and like just do it through YouTube or something. I don't know. Although this isn't much better from what I can see. So who knows? All right, well, let me know if anything weird is happening since I'm like delayed here. Frame rate of 6 frames per second. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. I'm on 5G too. Like, we have gig internet here, and I'm on 5G, and I've worked all day and had no problems, and then now it's just straight hot garbage. So if Dylan would get Facebook, we could do Facebook Live. That's true. Dude, what is going on? All right, I don't know what's going on with the internet tonight. I'm trying to think. There's like no optimization stuff in YouTube. Like, there's no way to like adjust my frame rate or anything. So I'm just gonna push through it. But you guys post up in the comments and just let me know if it gets like super bad or like you can't understand me or hear me at all, and then we'll see what we can do. I don't know. It's super weird. So sorry about that, guys. But I promise I would rather that it just worked, you know? But stupid technology, I guess, never works. All right, well, there, I shut down the other streaming thing. The government found us. That's Kurt. That's probably it. The audio that far off, you should be in a karate movie. Yeah. The audio is really far off. You know what I was gonna do too? I actually had the thought to like go out and sit at my fire pit tonight and do this live outside or a fire pit. But then I was like, dude, but that, like, for all the day that I didn't do that. You know what we could try? Hold on. Something. Maybe if I stream through my phone, that seems weird, but maybe if I just piggyback off my phone. Oh shit. Okay, hold on. Trying something. 1 sec. And then we're just going. Damn it. All right, hold on. If this doesn't get it, I don't know what will. Personal hotspot is on. All right, go back to the camera. Back to the camera. It's pretty cool. All right, is it working? And it doesn't look delayed anymore. Is that better? little bit. Holy shit. You know what I did? I literally said fuck the internet, and now I'm piggybacking off my cell signal. I'm running off my phone. Ridiculous. I have unlimited data, guys. It's fine. We'll be fine. Okay, so for future reference, from now on, I guess I'm going to run all my live streams through my cell phone. Like the video, the data. God. Well, fun times, everybody. I'm glad that you stuck with me for 15 minutes of nonsense. So let's get going, because now, like, I have kind of a hard stop at 10, so we got to go. All right, well, thank you guys again for sticking with me. At some point, I'll figure this shit out, you know, or I'll just stop doing live stuff because it's just frustrating and ridiculous. Okay. Your internet's jacked. I know. You know what? It's something weird with Streamlabs. Like, I think it's always had, it like just pushes a ton of data back and forth, and it's always been weird. So, yes, in real life, when I talk, I'm just like, that's how I actually sound. This is all, it's all done with CG. I'm not even a real person. This is computer generated. All right. 10 minutes, you mean? God, if that was the case, that would be really funny, wouldn't it? Like core, everyone just walks away and just leaves me standing by my truck glitching. It'd be amazing. All right, so for the people that watch this later, I wish I could edit it. Maybe I can't. I don't think I can with live stuff, but I'm going to try and cut out that first 15 minutes of disaster. This is the Matrix, yes. Yes, Ripper, this is the Matrix. I'm stuck in it. All right, anyways. So welcome. Again, if you're new to the channel, my name is Fletch. This is All Things Overlanding. Every single live chat is like this. It's a disaster. Just wait until like 20 minutes in and then jump in. It's just, you don't even need to be there in the beginning. I actually had a big plan to like show like a little trailer thing at the beginning, and then like I have a video of when I went camping a few weeks ago, and it just poured down rain and everything. None of that's happening. It's all gone. Yeah, this is All Things Overlanding. You're right. I promise, like I work in tech and stuff, like most of the time stuff works, but for some reason on this live streaming stuff, it just, nothing works, never works. I don't know why. Like it's worked before, but not tonight for some reason. So anyways, I know, Dylan, you don't need the intro. Just cover your ears. You're fine. But so tonight we're going to be talking about camping in the rain, inclement weather. It doesn't have to be rain, right? It could be snow. It could be, I don't know, hail. That would be sucky. But so I did shoot a video about a month ago. I guess I'll edit it into a real video now and put it up because I won't be able to show it tonight because yeah, it's the same. I know you hear it every time, Dylan, but the people that come and watch it afterwards don't know what the heck is going on. It's like a show, right? You got to start it. So yeah. So this video, we're going to be talking about inclement weather. We're going to be talking about pros and cons. I actually am starting to not hate inclement weather as much as I used to, and we'll talk a little bit about that, but I still do kind of hate it. Kurt actually told a really funny story, a really funny story about going camping with his kids in a downpour and having to get out in the middle of the night with a log and dig a trench around his tent to keep it from flooding. So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, right? Like that sucks. So before we dive straight into it, though, I know you guys have all heard this, the ones that are here regularly, but I'm going to touch on my featured partners really quick. Down in the description below, when I edit this later, because this is a whole new video now, there will be links to these guys. But Overland Addict, I know I was talking with one of you guys recently in the comments on YouTube about the Colby valve stems. Go to Overland Addict, click through that link below, check them out. They're awesome. They have everything overlanding. Last US Bags also has a ton of awesome like overlanding bag stuff. Check them out. More Expo, getting super excited. That's in February. I know a couple of you guys are going, so I'm excited to meet some folks in real life and glitch for 10 minutes. You know, I'm going to do it now. And then last but not least, Northology Overland, Northology Adventures, whatever you want to call her. But they have a free overlanding magazine, and it's awesome. So definitely go check those guys out. Country Boy Beer is not my featured sponsor, unfortunately. Jeremiah's got that one. Chad is the man. You're right, Kurt. So cool. So let's dive into it. So we'll start with news, and then we'll get into the weather stuff. We've already lost almost 20 minutes, so we gotta move into it. But patches and stickers still available. Go to allthingsoverlanding.com if you want those things. They're pretty awesome. I like them. But definitely go get yours there. I have a pretty exciting new video that's going to be coming out pretty soon that I've started to work on. So if you aren't already familiar, I got a fridge freezer, an Alpacool CF55. It's a 55 liter fridge freezer. It's awesome. I used it on my last trip. It was amazing. I did a test though. I'm going to give you guys that are live here a sneak peek. I did a test on that Primax 300 watt hour battery, and everybody, when I posted up, were like, you won't get a half hour, a couple hours out of it. Like it's not going to run. I plugged it in at 5:30 at night on that battery. It said when the fridge freezer turned on, it was super sunny, like 85, 90 that day. Truck was sitting right out in my driveway in the sun. When I turned on the fridge, it said it was 104 degrees inside the fridge. I plugged it into the Primax, so it had to bring it from 104 down to like 30 degrees is what I had it set to. It brought it down, and it kept it all night. It ran for 14 and a half hours and still had 1 out of 5 bars left on the battery pack. So I was impressed. Like, that's sweet. And if I pre-chilled it off the truck, like, I have no doubt that thing would easily go all night. So, and then I plugged it back into the solar the next morning, charged it back up, and we were good to go. So I'm really, really excited about that. But so there will be a full video that shows you kind of the test, and I checked it, about every half hour, hour, and all that good stuff. So I'm going to be putting that together. So be ready for that. It's pretty cool. Also, for those of you that are going or aren't going, Core is coming up in about a month now, a little less than 17th of September. So starting to plan for that. That's going to be pretty exciting. So comment in the description. Comment in the comments if you guys are going to Core, because I'd love to meet you in person. And then I posted a live video the other day to Facebook, but I totally redid my rooftop tent. So I took the design of it, and it was opening sideways, and I moved the hinge around, moved the latches around. Now it opens long ways, and it's amazing. So this weekend I'm planning on doing the sewing. I've never done that before, so it's going to be an interesting test of skill, I guess, to see if I can figure that out. Probably not. It's probably going to be terrible, but I'm going to do my best. But I'm changing that around, so it should be done by Core. So when I go to Core, I should actually have a functioning, much better DIY rooftop tent. And then what are you drinking, right? This is our thing. We always do this. I am out of beer, so I am drinking a Monster. But post up what you're drinking. Let me catch up with the comments here. Dylan, you should have become a featured sponsor, partner. Hit me up. I'll talk to you about it. I don't know what you would be sponsoring or where I could send people for you, but let me know. Does the first few minutes of the video glitch? No, it doesn't. We know all of this shit. I know, Dylan. I told you, wait till like 20 minutes in and then jump in if you want. Nobody's forcing you. Kidding. Wait till you do a trip greater than 5 days. What do I do for a trailer? What, on the battery? I mean, my plan is on the battery is only to use it at night, right? So like my plan is to run it off the truck all day. My typical trips, I don't really just park and sit for days and days. Pretty much every trip I've ever taken is trails and driving for 10 to 12 hours a day, and then get to camp at night and then set up, camp for the night, pack up the next morning, trails. So that's kind of my plan, is to switch over the fridge during the day to the DC from the truck and run it off that, and recharge the battery pack off the solar all day. So that'll just be plugged into the solar, recharging at night. You get done, pull the battery pack off the solar, plug the fridge back into it, and let it run overnight. That's kind of my plan. So hopefully I'll be okay, but we'll see. Oktoberfest from a local tap house. That's nice. Bourbon for St. Louis Arch. Ginger beer, a Modelo, because I want to go camping in Mexico. That sounds pretty good. Solar suitcase, the fridge, sorry. Settle down, Turbo. I meant the fridge. You're saying it'll be awesome on a 5-day trip. Gotcha. I'm with you. Okay. Yeah, we're on the same page, man. I'm with you. Cool. So that was it for kind of like news stuff. There will be some more. I've got a bunch of really cool videos in the can already that I've shot. I've done some like in-depth stuff, some review stuff of like the fridge freezer. So there's going to be some good stuff coming up here in the next couple weeks. I'm also just met with a buddy of mine the other night, and we're planning like a sort of a solo trip with him and I down to like Kentucky area. So like Daniel Boone Backcountry Byway sort of area, and just doing some exploring down there. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, probably October. But so we're planning that, and then that should be, the cool thing is my buddy's a photographer. So and he's got some really nice cameras and stuff like that. So the plan is to get some like really cool footage and like do some epic stuff. So that should be neat. No, you're fine, Ripper. That's cool. All right, so let's dive into the weather stuff, right? So we caught up pretty quick there. We moved pretty quick through the intro stuff. So let's start with what type of weather do you guys prefer to camp in? So post up in the comments and let me know like what your preference is. I think a lot of people are probably going to say fall. Like I think that's probably my favorite. Like all around is fall because the weather's good, the bugs go away. It's beautiful, right? You get the changing of the leaves and all that stuff. But honestly, it may be a close tie between fall and winter for me. And I know that's weird. And I know a lot of you guys are like, winter, I don't want to deal with that. But here's why I like winter. It's not quite as pretty. It's a little bit colder. But this sounds really like I really hate people, but I don't. I just prefer not having all the jackasses like, driving around at 2 o'clock in the morning and coming up into your campsite and trying to see if anybody's up there and that sort of thing. But I love that like no one is around, right? Like in the winter, you have your pick of the spots. Nobody's there. The campfire feels better than ever. Like it feels great in fall. But in the winter when it's like really cold and you need the fire, like just to even be comfortable, man, there's just nothing like sitting around the fire and even like chopping up wood and stuff like actually gets the blood flowing and gets you warmed up a little bit. So I just feel like winter is like it's close. It's close. If there were as few people as there are in the winter and the fall would easily be my top. But there are some advantages to winter for sure. But yeah, you guys post up, so let's see what you guys are saying. St. Louis Arch says, I figured out I need a longer cord for the solar or just mount it on the hood. You can always do that. Ripper, all of your comments are being hidden, by the way. YouTube is not happy with your language. It doesn't bother me, but it's just funny that I have to keep unhiding your comments. Yeah, the shittier, the better. So you like inclement weather, Ripper? Like what kind of inclement weather? Oh, you don't care. Camp through the year up north in the Northeast. See, it depends on where you're at, right? Like here in Indiana, the summer is sucky. Like I've gone more this summer than I have probably ever in the summer. I've gone like 4 or 5 times in the last couple months. And I'm just like sweating my ass off the whole time. And there's bugs everywhere. And I come home and I'm just like chewed up, even with bug spray and stuff. It doesn't matter. Like you're just getting attacked. There's bugs all in my tent. I'm trying to get them out or kill them. It's just miserable, man. And it's just hot to like collect firewood to cook. Everything is just, the fire isn't as nearly as nice because it's just, too hot. Kurt says cold fall followed by winter and snow. Screw summer. Yep, I'm with you. Dylan says, should I do trailer independent long travel suspension for a trailer? I don't know. I didn't even know you could do that. What's the benefit? Is your stuff still going to like flap around in there? Ooh, St. Louis Arch says he had a night of 36 degrees last week. Yeah, that's like perfect, man. Like I would rather, you can always put more layers on, right? But you can only take so much off. So it's like I'd rather have my wool blanket and like some hot hands and stuff like that and be cuddled up and like sleeping like a baby nice and warm than sweating to death laying on top of my sleeping bag with bugs biting me, Dylan says winter, then spring. He hates summer. Yeah. Kurt says lucky it sucks in the summer camping in the South. I bet I'm complaining. I bet it's way worse for you guys down south. A 9-inch fan that saved my ass. Oh, check this out here. It's not breaking, but let me get something I just got. I'll show you. I just picked this thing up. This thing is amazing. It was $15. It's got these little, the little spider legs that you can bend and stuff so you could wrap it around stuff. The coolest part, though, is it has a built-in battery, 2,600 milliamp hour battery. You can run it while you're charging it off micro USB. So, like, my plan is, it says it'll go on high for about 6 hours, which is pretty good. But I'm just going to plug a battery bank, like a power bank, into it while I'm running it. But the thing that's amazing about this is, one, I like that you can like set it up on like a, your table next to you while you're sitting around the fire or whatever. Like you can use it wherever you need it. But then you could also, hang it upside down and use the legs to hang it from the top of your tent. But this thing moves air. Like this is one of the few camping fans that I've ever had that actually blows air, which I know sounds stupid. But like I had another one that's bigger than this that doesn't have a built-in battery. So you have to run it off of a power bank. And it just sucks. Like you have to have it like right here to even feel the wind. This thing, I can turn it on and we'll see if you can hear it here. So that's low, medium, high. So if you can hear that, I mean, if I had long hair, it'd be flowing right now, but it actually does pretty good. It's got a light built into it too, which you can go, 3 levels. That's not super important, but it's just kind of nice. And the fact that it has a built-in battery is just added benefit for me. But I'll put a link in the description of that, because it's actually, I've had like 3 of these things and none of them have been any good, but I actually am really impressed with this one. And I love the built-in battery. So, all right, cancerous bug spray. Summers are hot and humid, full of bugs as well. He just doesn't care. Man, you're tough. Oh, and you get leaves all over your rig in the fall? Yeah, that's true, I guess. That doesn't bother me. My truck's dirty year round. It doesn't really matter. It looks like a personal massager. Nice chair. What are you guys talking about? That a Bob? I picked up an Opolar 9-inch and it lasted 11 hours on a 13,000 milliamp hour battery. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I've seen those Opolar ones and they seem pretty good. I haven't had one of those though. Does it blow mosquitoes away? That's a valid question. If it would do that, I would buy 10 of them and just put them all around me. So cool. Yeah, I will say spring is not too bad except for the bugs. Like if you can get early spring, I went in like March, I think this year, March, maybe early April, and it was actually beautiful. Like it was cool enough, the weather was nice, it didn't rain, and there was no one out. So sometimes that can be okay. Cool. So then for inclement weather, everybody says, you guys have said this to me before, a few of you, if you're prepared, no weather is bad weather, right? Like that's what everybody says. If you're prepared, no weather is bad weather. So like post up in the comments and tell me like what gear do you bring that makes that true? Like what is the magical gear that I'm apparently missing out on that would make these trips not so freaking miserable? And since I can't show you the video that I put together for this, I can describe it at least. So I went camping probably about a month ago, and it was hot as hell. It was like 85, 90 degrees. But it said on the weather when I left my house that it wasn't supposed to rain until like 11 o'clock. And I was like, that's fine. I can sit around the fire. I can smoke a cigar. I can drink some beers. And then I'll just lay in my hammock. I brought my hammock with me just because my rooftop tent is not, in its previous iteration, was not very waterproof. But so I had all that set up. I set up my hammock. I set up my tarp. I was fine. I did a good job setting it up. I didn't get wet or anything. But it wasn't supposed to rain until like 11 o'clock that night. So I was psyched. I get there at like 3, 4 in the afternoon. I cooked some food. So I did have enough time to like at least eat and do some stuff. But then I kid you not, at like 6:57, it starts blowing like 60 miles an hour, like shaking the trees. My fire was sideways, like blowing sideways. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I kid you not, at 7:03, I timed the whole thing. I was videoing it. Like 6 minutes later, torrential downpour, extinguished my fire. My tarp just had water shooting off of it in like spouts, just pouring. And it was miserable. And like in this video, which I can't show you, I'm just like cussing and like, are you fucking kidding me? Like I was so mad because again, I was prepared. It wasn't like miserable. It's not like I got soaked or any of my gear got ruined or anything like that. But like when it started raining at 7 o'clock, like I lost 3, 4 hours of time that I thought I was going to have to like sit around, read a book, maybe, just hang out, maybe shoot some videos or something, like do stuff. And then I'm just like stuck there. Right. And I'd had a few beers. So I was like, I can't drive home. Right. I'm stuck now. So I just sat under the tarp for a couple hours and then I laid in the hammock and then I fell asleep and went to bed. And then I woke up the next morning. It was still pouring down rain at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go home. I'm just going to get up and I'm going to go home. So I got to test my lights. I can't show you the video, Dylan. I would love to show you the video. But on their live stream, there's no way to like, on the built-in YouTube live stream, there's no way to like show your screen or anything. You can just show yourself. At least I don't think there is. No. There's no options for that. So sorry. But anyways, yeah, so I'll try and put that together. I'll put it together into a video and I'll link it on the Facebook page so you guys can see it. So yeah, it was terrible. And again, I was prepared. I feel like I had the gear, but it sucked, So that's been my experience, right? Is that I've been in the rain a bunch of times, and every single time, just like Kurt's story that I talked about earlier, right? Like he went out, wanted to go camping, took his kids, everything was great. And then in the middle of the night, wakes up to the sound of a downpour and looks outside and there's like water just like filling up around him. And he had to literally go out in the pouring rain and dig a trench just to keep his stuff from flooding. Like, what's the point? Like that's my point, I guess, is like, I I don't get why that's fun, you know? And again, maybe I know I sound like a big baby. Like, it's fine. I can do it, right? And again, if you're on a longer trip, I think it's different. Like, if I'm mainly talking about like short overnighters or like weekend trips, if you just want to go out and like enjoy some nice, weather and sit around a fire and stuff, like if it's just going to rain, I might as well just stay home, in my opinion. But let me catch up on your guys' comments here. The Opolar is about $23. That sounds, that's pretty reasonable. That one, the one that I was talking about, this fan's about $15. So it was a steal of a deal. All right, what else we got? Mr. Buddy heater for cold camping. Yeah, so I'm still old school cheap. Like, I've had this thing forever, but if you guys have seen that, sort of like, it looks like a sunflower, sort of. It's just like a big single burner propane heater that screws onto the top of a 1 pound bottle. It's a Coleman. I think it was like 10 or 15 bucks at like a Walmart or something like that. I've had that thing for years and I still just use it. It works fine. But whenever that goes out or dies, or I just decide to upgrade, I've heard nothing but good things about the Mr. Buddy heaters, except that they create condensation in the tent, which, especially being like a big winter camper, that's the thing that kind of concerns me, is dealing with that condensation in there from the heater. So the alternative is I kind of really want to build my own diesel heater, but I've heard that like maintenance on those things is pretty ridiculous. Like, especially for how, I would actually use it quite a bit. I'd probably use it 8 to 10 times a winter because that's when I go the most. So I'm kind of curious because they're not that expensive either. They're like 150 bucks for everything. And then you can build your own box for it, and with an exhaust and an intake and all that stuff. So I'm kind of excited about that. But the Mr. Buddy heater is like a perfect, like off the shelf thing to use for sure. Chris says, I call BS, you only get so naked. You can always put on more clothes. That's what I said, right? Yeah, exactly. You can only get so, God, I'm so confused, Kurt. Ripper says muck boots, dry feet are absolutely essential. Yeah, especially when cold. Yeah, I think that's a good point. So I've always just used like hiking shoes is pretty much what I wear when I go camping. But waterproof boots would definitely be the way. I went backpacking one time years ago. We hiked like 20 miles in a weekend. And literally, we got out of the truck and we got about 2 miles into the woods and it started pouring rain. And I kid you not, this may have been before I even had the Xterra. I had one of those plastic temporary ponchos. That was all that I brought with me. And like my backpack was my normal backpack, which is not a backpacking backpack. It's heavy as hell. And I had all my stuff in it. And so I was soaking wet, weighted down, probably 50 pounds worth of stuff in my bag, hiking, and I was so mad. I was so mad the whole weekend. It was just a terrible time. So muck boots, though, are definitely a good suggestion. Hot and humid sucks. Yes, I agree. Move your camera. What do you mean move my camera? What's wrong with my camera? Dylan is salty tonight. He's just like all caps the whole time. Pirate says, freshwater only. Hello, Dylan. Freshwater only. I love that you guys are fighting with each other in the comments. It's amazing. St. Louis Arch has Facebook. Hasn't been on it in a few years. You're not missing much, man. If it wasn't for all things overlanding, I wouldn't use it because it's so annoying. Ripper says, worst night I've ever spent in a tent was in Taylor Canyon off White Rim. I want to go to White Rim really bad. In Canyonlands National Park. 50-mile-per-hour winds all night. Dude, I know I talk about it a lot, but that show Alone, watch that. I'm on season 5 now. They're in Mongolia, and there's one night where it's blowing so hard that like this one guy built like a cabin and it like collapsed on him. It was amazing. So I haven't had to deal with winds much. In Indiana, like we have trees and enough hills, especially down south, where we don't get a whole lot of wind like that. Forgot about high wind nights. Mr. Buddy heater off a 5-pound tank. Yep. Winds in southern Utah, no way. But the Xterra is gas. No, I know the Xterra is gas. The diesel, it comes with its own little tank. It comes with like a gallon and a half tank, which will run that thing for a long time. 270 awning made a huge difference over a regular awning. I'm glad you brought that up, Ripper. Literally, I think my next thing I'm going to buy, I want a 180. And here's why. I want a 180, though, that like just opens, just like the 270. Because if you guys have seen my videos, you've seen me struggle with opening that one awning by myself. It's fine. You just look like an idiot. But it's like one of the traditional regular old, mine's a Tough Stuff awning, where you got to pull it out and drop the legs down, and then you got to put the poles out. And doing that by yourself, you just look like an idiot. And it takes forever. It takes like 5 to 6 minutes probably to set that thing up, which I know isn't that long. But it's in the time of setting up, it takes a long time. But I want a 180 on the driver's side. that, again, just like the 270, just like fans open, and then you just attach it back there. And the reason is, so when I change up my DIY rooftop tent, I'm going to be entering from the back. So I can't really have a 270 because it'll get in the way of the entrance to my rooftop tent. But a 180 would be amazing. It would make opening it easier. And I think you're right. Like the more square footage you have, the better you can, utilize that space. So Dylan is asking weird questions. I've had an S-Bar diesel heater in my van for years. They're amazing. Okay, cool, ZG. That's I just see all these videos, man. I watched what's his name? The guy from Kentucky. Now I'm blanking on his name. He built his own diesel heater though, and like $150 total and stuff. And then he even redid it not too long after that. Revere Overland is who I couldn't think of for some reason. But like dry, warm, heat, especially, I just love the idea of it being portable too. Like, so if I ever like get rid of my rooftop tent or switch to a real rooftop tent, like a not do-it-yourself style, I could just hook it up, run it through the flap, and be good to go. If I'm using a tent, I could use it. That's what I kind of dig about it. I mean, it's the same with the buddy heaters, right? But how old are you and how tall, Fletch? Okay, so I just turned 40. August 4th was my birthday, my 40th birthday, so I'm an old man now. Like my back hurts, and like I yelled at kids on my lawn today. So I'm old, and I'm 6'2" is my height. These questions are getting oddly personal. Garbage bag in your backpack as a liner. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, I almost would have rather had a garbage bag than that stupid plastic thingamajiggy. Move your camera so we can see the video. Well, I guess I could do that, but it's going to be crappy quality, man. Like, all right, we can try it. We got time. It's 9:40, right? So here, this is Dylan's request, everybody. So if this sucks, sorry. Okay, here. Can you see the computer? All right, here. Where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. All right, awesome. I'm going to try and hold it.
So up over this hill, it drops
so you can
down
see the wind.
It's very rutted. It's kind of muddy.
This was his new campsite that I found. That was amazing. Like it's right on this little pond here. There's and like just watch the leaves blowing. Fire. I was just shooting. I mean, in a second. Like, look at those trees. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is like 7 o'clock. I really had time to do anything. Look at the fire. I'm like, okay, guys, I guess I'm mad because it's like still light outside. I'm like, what am I going to do for the next hour? My fire is completely extinguished. Like, it's just ridiculous. Hey, Jeremiah, what's up? You like my fancy? So YouTube completely broke tonight. Streamlabs broke. And so I can't share video. So I am literally streaming video of my video. Yes, I know. So then it just poured down rain all night and like soaked through my hammock and everything. So that was it. Fun times. All right, low tech thing over. So yeah, that sucked. I was so mad. And this is why I had my brightness turned down because my glasses reflect everything. All right, so are you happy, Dylan? You got to see the video, man. There you go. Please don't move the camera to watch the video. Kurt, I didn't read that until afterwards. Sorry. I made it really fast. All right, Pirate, let's get back to you. So spend a night in -5 plus 30 km/h wind, forgot my sleeping system, and packed my friends. I drive a British version of the Xterra called Pathfinder, great buggy. It's great sleeping in it now. Yeah, I've had multiple times in the winter when I had to sleep in the Xterra because it was just too dang cold. There was one night where I had to run the Xterra all night because it got down to like -10 or something and the wind was blowing. And I was just like, I had a little Coleman $50 pop-up tent and a cot. And like no wool blanket back then, no nothing. And I was like, I'm going to die. I'm literally going to die. So I slept in the Xterra like a baby. It was nice. Dylan says, where can I watch? Wait, what did you say? All right, I'm getting caught up now. And there's so many comments. Where can I watch Alone free because I really want to watch it? I don't know, man. So it's on Hulu. It's on Netflix. At least season 6 is on Netflix. All the seasons are on Hulu. You got any friends that you can, take their subscription and use it? You can probably Google it and find it. There is a site, and I don't know if I should say this. There are some sites out there that if you Google like watch alone free, where they like stream stuff and you can just watch it on websites. So anyways, I'm not saying that you should do that. I'm just saying that is something that you can do. So trash bags for anything. I blew up my back glass from a bouncy rock. Yeah, I mean, that would be good. I always keep a ton of trash bags with me just for my trasharoo and for pooping, of course. So, you know, you definitely don't want to get out there and find out you don't have any trash bags. That's no fun. So those are good to have. He said he was going to post it to YouTube at a later time. Okay, Kurt, now you got to see it. It's too late. You can't unsee it. Crappy plastic poncho saved my ass on a trip to Vermont. I forgot my rain jacket. It was supposed to rain. It snowed instead. I mean, yeah, it was better than nothing. Don't get me wrong, but like it ripped almost immediately. It was uncomfortable. Like I was sweating in it. It was just awful. Do the full 270. It's easier to open my Batwing when it was. Yeah, I know, but like I can't even use the 270. I like the 270, but it's then what am I going to do? Like unstrap it every time I want to get up and down into the tent, or open the back of my Xterra? Like the Xterras open up, you know, like that. So like I think a 180 is perfect for me. But what's up, Jeremiah? I'm caught up to you now. Ponchos rock. Dang, you are old. Thanks, Dylan. Appreciate that. I'm late. What's going on? Oh, you missed so much stuff, Jeremiah. The live stream didn't work through the software that I was using. The internet didn't work streaming through YouTube. So now I'm literally piggybacking off of my 4G connection on my phone to my laptop and then streaming the video from my phone. It's a mess. As always. Shit rains and Dylan is salty because he has no beer. I have no beer. Are you salty because I don't have beer or because you don't have beer? Just post the vid after the quality. Yeah, the quality sucks. Oh God, he touched it. Now the video is lagging and glitching. Oh no. Am I back now? I guess I'm back now. Thank you, Jeremiah, for the faster internet. I'm on gig internet, okay? 5G gig internet. I don't think it's that. I think it's the software. I got to figure something else out. Oh, you guys are funny. Are those pixels the trees? Yes. Oh, God. So I didn't even know it was this bad until I just caught up. All right. Overland Attic sells wool blankets. Oh, there you go. Amazon Prime has a loan. Yeah, it's on Prime, too. Good call, Kurt. Don Frederick, you should check out the 12-volt blankets. So I'm glad you brought that up, Don, because here's my idea. I have an idea. I bought a DC seat heater. Okay, I have one in my truck. There's a video on the channel of a review of that thing because it was like literally like $10 or $15 and it's amazing. I have one of those things, and my plan is in the winter I won't really need the fridge, right? So I won't be using my Primax battery, like portable solar generator. So I'm going to run the heated seat cushion, which is, it's a good 5 feet long probably. I plan to put it inside of my sleeping bag and run that off of the battery pack. So I'm glad you brought that up because I think that will work pretty well. So we'll see. Pirate says, got a British Army cold weather system in my Pathfinder. Storms are no problem now. Looking for a rooftop tent, canvas, or Pirate. I'll put a link in the description below to the stuff I just bought. Actually, I've got it over here. I'll show you. I bought this 600 denier proof fabric. And this stuff is like, I took it and I ran it under the water in my sink and it just beaded right off of it. And it was about $7 a yard on Amazon with free shipping. So I got 10-ish yards of this stuff to use for my rooftop tent. But it's heavy duty, tough stuff, totally waterproof and pretty inexpensive really. So again, about $70 got me 10 yards of the stuff. It's 58 inches by the yard and then you can buy it by the yard. And so my rooftop tent, I made it so it opened up 52 inches, which gives me a few extra inches to get it inside the lip on the top and then go down around the lip on the bottom to make it waterproof. And because of how much I got to, I'm going to make an awning, like a canopy that goes out over the front too, just so that I can have it unzipped like in the summer. If it gets too hot, I can still have the canopy even if it's raining. So my point with that is, and kind of moving towards trying to end this thing on a positive note, even though I'm a wuss and I hate bad weather, is I think once I have my rooftop tent sorted out and I have the canopy and everything, like even if it's pouring down rain, I should be pretty comfortable. Like, and again, you could put a heater in there if it's winter. Like that does make me think. I do feel like I'm getting closer to where I will have the right gear and I will be prepared for inclement weather and it could be better for me. So that's kind of where I'm going. Let me catch up on all these comments now. Kodiak tents are awesome for winter camping. I've heard of them. I've heard of Kodiak tents. How much do they cost though? And Oz tent too. Oz tents are great, but they're expensive as hell too, aren't they? Propane fire pit. Yeah, those are cool. I think you use one, don't you, Jeremiah? Have I not caught up? Be fluffy like me, built-in insulation. That's funny. I will be in Wyoming in October with mine. Big buddy heater. It's awesome. Yeah, I may just have to get one. Like, I don't really care. The condensation is a little bit of a concern, but it's, you know, it's not a huge deal. Like if I go for 4 or 5 days and I get a little bit of condensation inside the tent, I'll just air it out when I get home. Like it's not a deal breaker, you know. There's like a treasure chest of random gear just off camera, I swear. Treasure chest of random gear. There is a bunch of random. I have stuff everywhere. I also have this thing, which is off topic, but after my jalapeno deal that I did the other day, look at this. You just stand them up in there and you can just grill them or cook them over a fire pit or whatever. So now I'm all in on the jalapenos, man. They were delicious. Ripper says good beer helps you add insulation. I know I haven't had a beer. I actually haven't had a beer for a week and a half until last night because I've got too much insulation now. So I'm trying to cut back on the insulation because I'm becoming too insulated. Amen, says Jeremiah. LOL, too much beer. Have to pee a lot though. That is true, Don. That is definitely a problem that I have had in the past. And that is part of why I'm revamping my rooftop tent, because getting out of that one from the side, from the coffin, from the little tiny door in the tent, I had to like curl up into the fetal position to like roll off the side of my truck and then not fall down the ladder, was just terrible. Dylan. Yeah, if you're drinking Coors Light, yeah, Oz tents aren't cheap. Yeah, but they're great. I mean, yeah, that's if they last forever, then you're right. It's worth it. It's a buy once, cry once kind of deal, right? Dylan, how about you figure out YouTube, Dylan, and then you tell me how to do it. I'm old, remember? I'm not supposed to even be using technology. I'm not even supposed to understand how a smartphone works. I'm just supposed to like curse it and like ask my grandkids to go do it, which I don't have yet, but someday. Been a few months for me since you rank. Wow, that's impressive. I wish I could go a few months. Harder roof tent, still new at this, guys. So Pirate, if you're new, go to my channel and look at like, just search for like the DIY stuff. I've got a bunch of different videos, but I've done some videos on mine. Mine's a hard shell and I love it. And it was really inexpensive, like total, even with all the new fabric and all, like totally changing it, I'm going to be about 300 to 350 bucks in on it. But it was basically just a wooden box and it opens sideways. And then I had a pre-existing tent in it. And now I've changed it to where it opens long ways like this. And I'm sewing that fabric and it's going to be about 7 feet long, 3 feet wide, and stand up, like I said, at the tall end about 52 inches inside the lips. For setup, it's so much easier. It's got 2 gas struts in it. I undo 2 latches and I push it up and it's open, right? That's all I have to do. Now with the awning, I might have to put a couple poles up. Take me another 30 seconds, you know? But the soft ones are just, you got to undo the vinyl cover and there's nothing wrong with them, right? But they're just, you're talking 3 to 5 minutes setup maybe. So, I mean, it is just a lot more work. And I tear down every night. So I want convenience and speed. And it was cheap. It was really cheap. If you do it yourself, it's cheap. Welcome to Over 40. Yeah, thanks. Kodiak has a swag now that's not a bad price. That's good to know. You aren't that old. Thanks, Dylan. It makes me feel better when you recant your stuff. Me likely the hard clamshell are sweet. But if you buy them, they're so expensive. I really like, if you guys have looked at that new Go Fast Campers deal, I don't even know if it's out yet, but it's about $1,200 before the mattress. If you add the mattress, it's about $1,500, but it's literally the same design as what I've done with mine. Like it just opens just like this. It's super light. I think it weighs like 80 pounds or something. But I mean, for $1,200, and then you could just buy yourself an Amazon like memory foam mattress for the thing and probably save yourself $100 or $2 on that. So if I decide to get rid of my DIY rooftop tent, then that's probably the one I'd look at, because I feel like that's $1,200 is pretty fair for that kind of convenience and quality. So try 53. Don, you're 53. I'm catching up with you, man. Give me a couple of years. If you can afford it, go hard shell. Yeah, or build your own, man. I'm telling you, it was not that hard. If you aren't good at woodworking and stuff, I'm terrible. I don't have the patience. But I have a buddy. You can find somebody. somebody that can at least help you. Like my wife is actually pretty good at woodworking stuff. She just has more patience than me. But again, I'm telling you, I'm like $300 into this thing even after revamping it, and I think it's going to be amazing now. Built a DIY coffin. I did. It was terrible. Yes, his wife should be happy that I am a coffin. Yeah, I can just get buried in the truck and the roof of it and just roll it into a creek or a pond or river or something. Years old, I'm like a dog. I mark my ground every time I'm out of the truck. Yeah, when I drink beer, I am. That's for sure. Ripper says, not a rooftop tent guy. I don't like the weight up top. It is a little weird. I can definitely feel it. Like when I'm taking corners and stuff, I can feel it. But I think mine weighs like 110 pounds. So it's not light, but it's not super heavy. So many benefits, especially trying to bring it back here to the weather, right? Like, again, with the quick setup, with being able to tear it down really fast. I don't hate getting away from animals and stuff. Like when we went to West Virginia, I did not have a rooftop tent, and there was bear scat right by where I was. And I was just like, yeah, I'll probably be okay. But if he decides he wants to kill me, like, what am I going to do? So I think there's a lot of benefits to the rooftop tent. Yeah, there's another YouTube channel. So I've got a couple videos, but then the main guy's name is Patrick Remington. So if you search for Patrick Remington on YouTube, you'll find him. I've kind of followed a bunch of his stuff when I built mine. So he has some great, like, in-depth walkthroughs of each step of the process. So search for Patrick Remington if you want to learn more about those, and watch my videos. So you run harder trails all the time. So yeah, I've done some pretty fun stuff too, but it was before the rooftop tent. So I guess we'll see. If I start to feel like I'm going to tip over, or if I roll that thing, then maybe I'll switch my story up. A trailer would be a great option. If you've got a place to store it, that's my only reason I don't have a trailer, is I don't really have a place to keep it when I'm not using it. Yeah, it's just money to own one. That's right. I like the ability to ditch the heavy stuff and go beat the shit out of the truck. Yeah, so we had a whole episode about that a few episodes ago, live chats ago, and everyone was on the same page. That, yeah, if we could all just have trailers and then like do a base camp deal, like Jeremiah, Overland Pioneers, he has a really nice X-Venture trailer that's awesome with the 270 awning and all that stuff, and it's a sick setup. So yeah, cool. All right, well, we're heading towards 10 o'clock. So ending on a positive note, right? So like I said, the DIY rooftop tent, I think is going to make it better, especially once I have the awnings and stuff on it. Then I will feel not so bad when it's raining and stuff. If you can be prepared with the right sort of like tarps and stuff, if you have the right size tarp and you know how to set it up the correct way to keep yourself from getting rained on or snowed on, and that can make it pretty good. Again, even in the winter, like I like the inclement weather when it snows, and a lot of you guys have touched on this stuff too. Like if it's snowing, then it just makes the off-roading so much more fun, right? Like the trails are so much more challenging, and it just adds a whole new element. So like there are some positives in inclement weather too. Like, okay, my lights just turned off. Technology, great. My house is falling apart, guys. This is what happens when you have like all smart home stuff and your internet sucks, apparently. Weird. Anyways, are you fucking serious? I think my wife is like upstairs, like flipping the switches or something, killing me. Oh my god, we have to end this now. This is just too perfect. So anyways, back to the positive stuff, right? Snow makes it more fun in the spring and stuff. When you get like a ton of rain, I know that like, and I haven't seen Chad in here tonight, but like Overland Addict and Arkansas Off-Road and Ozark Overland Adventures, like those guys that are down near the Ozark National Forest, those water crossings in the spring are way more challenging and way more fun in the spring. So like there are some positives to inclement weather, right? Like water crossings become more fun. Snow makes things more challenging. So there are some fun things. And again, I do think that if you are properly prepared, that it can be a lot of fun. Like, again, have the right tent, have the right tarp, have the right gear, have the right poncho and stuff like that. So I think you can do some fun stuff if you're prepared. All right, so I'm going to catch up on these comments here quick. So, okay, cool. Pirate's got the 07 Pathfinder. Those are great trucks. Ripper has an Xterra, which makes sense. 05X. It's nice. Dual locked Xterra. Nice. Are you Titan swapped or VK swapped or anything? Dylan says I have to buy a trailer. At 20,000 subs. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it is moving pretty quick now. It's interesting because I marked 1,000 subscribers in March, like the end of March. So what is that? 5 months ago? Less than 5 months ago, and now I'm at just over 2,300. So like, who knows? There are people out there that like the terribleness of these live streams. I guess I don't know who. You guys, I guess. Pirate, it's basically an Xterra. Yeah, the Pathfinders are really nice. My mom had an 05 Pathfinder back in the day with the third row seats, and it's literally just the exact same thing, but a little bit longer wheel or a little bit longer overhangs on the rear. A big one for cold weather camping. End in 30 minutes because we started late. Oh God, this episode is epic. Good. I'm glad you guys are having fun. I'm actually having fun, even though I'm super aggravated at all the technology breaking. A pee bottle sounds gross, but not having to get out of the tent when it's -7. Use the bottle and empty it in the morning. That's actually a good idea. I saw somebody post one of those like the ones you use in like a hospital with a handle on it, like a pee thing. And that never occurred to me. But like, especially if you had a place to put it outside the tent, that might be better. Where if you could at least reach out and get it and keep it outside, maybe so it doesn't smell. Pee bottle is a good idea. People are liking the pee bottle. Put bleach in clothes soap bottle. Keeps stink out. Kills germs. Why do we always end up talking about bathroom stuff, guys? It's weird. Funnel plus fish tubing, pee funnel. It's not a bad idea. Seems kind of gross. Wish we could share pics on here of some of the pics inclement weather trips. You know where you, Ripper, go over to Facebook if you have Facebook and share them on the thread about this god-awful video that got screwed up tonight. Yeah, YouTube, I think they will put more time and effort into these chats and making them more interactive with like the ability to share stuff. 2.31. Yeah, it's like 2312 or something right now. And after this one, I'm probably going to lose like 100. Ripper has an 11 Pro 4X. No Titan swap. This is my personal opinion. Is you don't really need. Yeah, I just wondered because they're cool. But I'm exactly in the same boat. Like I only spent $7,000 on my truck like 4 years ago. And I just can't see spending another like VK swapping it and Titan swapping it and spending what, 5 to 7 grand, somewhere in that ballpark probably. Like I'm not going to double the cost of the truck. I don't need the VK56. It's a great motor. It's got a ton of power. I don't need it. 4 liters fine. And the same with the Titan swap stuff. Like I could just do a body lift if I really wanted to get a little bit more and turn up my coilovers and do a longer shackle in the rear, but you know, or a different leaf pack. So yeah, I'm with you, but they are cool trucks. If I could buy one used already built like that, I'd probably do it. I use an Nalgene bottle. Those hospital urinals are cheap plastic and are brittle. Good to know. I've never done my research on hospital urinals. But that is what I was talking about. I go diving in remote rivers and sleeping in my fours. The answer. Interesting. Insert Dylan saying he doesn't have Facebook here. My first time, it's pretty cool. Unless you say F Ford, I will stay subscribed. Unless you say, no, I don't hate on any other brands. My preference is Nissan. Yeah, that's what I've heard about the VK swap. So there's a dude that's selling a VK swapped, and I think it's Titan swapped X right now. And I've known him since about 2 or 3 years ago. I went on a trip up to Manistee, Michigan, and he was on it. And back then he wasn't VK swapped. Now he's VK swapped, and constantly I see him on like the Xterra board saying like, hey, it's overheating all the time. Can anybody help me? And what's going on with this? And I'm like, yeah, that just doesn't seem worth it. Like, yeah, it sounds good. Yeah, it's got some power and that's cool, but it's an Xterra. Like, it's never going to be fast, right? So yeah. All right, all my Ford guys, I'm not going to poop on you. I like the Bronco. It's cool. I'm not going to spend that much money. Working EMS. Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember that from last time, I think. Love my 14. Yeah, the new Xterras are really nice. Like, if mine dies someday, I'm either going to go up to a bigger, like, I kind of want to go full size. I kind of want to go Armada or Infinity QX80/QX56. But if not, I would just go with a newer Xterra because they're freaking bulletproof, man. Jeremiah, are you getting the new Ram TRX? Yeah, who's gonna spend 90 grand on the new Ram TRX? I know we're totally off topic now. We've finished with the inclement weather stuff. We're just shooting the shit now until a couple minutes from now when I decide to end this to go cry in the corner about my technology not working. You see at Ford, I will unsubscribe for a month, but we'll still watch your videos. That kind of seems worth it, Dylan. No, I'm just kidding. You're going to become a van girl, Jeremiah? I would like to see that. That'd be pretty funny. Do it before core. Come up there dressed in like van girl clothes. You know what's funny though is if you were a van girl, you would have 200,000 subscribers and you would be getting paid. Yes, I don't know. It might just shut off and you guys are going to think that I'm a jerk and I just ended it, but it might just be that my phone battery died because it's running everything. The internet, the video, literally this whole stream is running off my phone. I guess I could. Next time I'll just do it out around the fire. Like, what's the difference? It doesn't matter, you know? Might as well. I can do the whole thing off my phone. Oh my God, okay. Now you guys are talking about Jeremiah getting naked. My favorite trucks are paid for trucks. Yeah, my truck's paid for and it feels great. It's been paid for like 2 years now. And I don't even care if I tap a tree or do something stupid. In other news, Overland Pioneers is starting an OnlyFans page. Cool. I'd man thumb it. Oh my God. All right, well, we're way off topic now, guys. We're totally lost. This is way more fun than the topic that I thought of anyway, so it's fine. Cool. Well, let's try and bring some semblance of organization back to this and end this on like a normal Ripper, your stuff is always getting hidden. I'm unhiding it for you. You're welcome. God, you guys are killing me. I love my Pathfinder now. I'm a gold prospector. Really? I've broken a lot of 4x4s, Land Rover, and a few others that were really bad off-road. I'm telling you, man, these Nissans are so underrated. So underrated. No, you don't have to apologize. I think it's hilarious that your stuff gets hidden, but like every single one, YouTube's like, no, that's not okay. But these Nissans are so underrated, man. I'm telling you, like, again, mine's like 16 years old, right? Like it's 6 years older than my oldest kid. And it just starts up every time and just runs. And I drive it 10 hours to West Virginia. And then I literally like trails 10, 12 hours a day for 4 days, 10 hours back home. And not a problem. It just runs and runs and runs. I drove it so much in 4 days that I had to do an oil change before I left and another one when I got back. And the thing just goes. It just, you know, the temp gauge just sits right in the middle. Like it's just, God, they're so good, man. And they're so underrated. All right, Jeremiah's leaving. That's our cue. See you, Jeremiah. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Good to see you. Make like a fetus and head out first. Make sure the cord's not wrapped around your neck. All right. So I'm going to bring this back together here. So thank you guys all for coming and hanging out tonight. I know Dylan's going to start cursing and yelling in all caps here. But he should get Facebook. You know, if Dylan just got Facebook, then he could talk to us whenever he wants. But he won't. So sorry, Dylan. But again, thanks you guys for hanging out tonight and putting up with all the garbage at the beginning. I'll play with it. And see if I can't get that software to work better. Or you know what? Maybe next time I'll just literally go out and have a fire in my fire pit and bring some lights out there and look like a weirdo to all my neighbors shooting videos around a campfire. But I'll just run it all through my phone. So I'll do some more research and we'll see. We will see if we can't figure it out. But for those of you that aren't regulars on this stream, if you don't already, as we've mentioned a million times in this stream, go to Facebook, follow All Things Overlanding, Instagram. I'm on all the major podcast channels. So if you like podcasts better than YouTube, that's fine too, whatever you like. The website's allthingsoverlanding.com. There are patches and stickers for sale on there. So had to get that plug in. But yeah, we've been doing this about every 2 weeks. So maybe in a couple weeks, we'll do another one. If I can figure out this stupid technology stuff, we'll see. May need to like hire an IT guy or something. So like this live stream. Thanks, Dylan. You're my cheerleader, man. Catch you on the next one. Thanks, folks. Yeah, thank you guys. So thanks again for stopping by. We'll see you on the next one. You know, if you're not already, subscribe on YouTube and Seacrest out. Yes, you're right. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. See you next time. Yes.